DBT, which stands for Dialectical Behavior Therapy, is still not well known outside of professional therapy settings, but it's a powerful set of skills that can truly change lives. In this video, I want to share some practical DBT techniques, ones that have helped so many people, including myself. I'm Dr. Lilly Partha, and while today I'm focusing on how DBT can help neurodivergent individuals thrive, the truth is it's useful for everyone. In fact, DBT has made a huge difference in my relationship with my autistic son. Let me give you an example. There was a time when he would get completely overwhelmed in noisy places. His brain just couldn't filter out all the input. And like any mom, I wanted to help. I used headphones and weighted earmuffs and other things, all of which helped minimally. Then I started applying a DBT technique called check the facts. Instead of reacting emotionally, I asked myself, okay, what's actually happening here? I realized that to him, the environment wasn't just a little noisy, it felt like a full-on sensory attack. So instead of telling him to just calm down, I used another DBT trick, validation. I'd say, wow, this is really loud for you. Let's step outside for a minute. That tiny shift changed everything. He felt understood, and instead of a meltdown, we had a plan. And honestly, this approach has helped me in every area of life, not just parenting. So, whether you're neurodivergent yourself or you just want better ways to handle emotions and stress, DBT is a game changer. Let's get into some techniques that you can start using right now. I'm going to discuss this topic in 3 segments. The first one is about why DBT is so effective for neurodivergent individuals, why it just clicks in a way that other approaches sometimes do not. Neurodivergent brains process the world differently. That means emotions can feel way more intense, social interactions can be confusing or exhausting, and unexpected changes, absolute chaos. But DBT is designed to help with exactly these challenges. Let's go over a few key reasons why it works so well. First, emotional regulation. Many neurodivergent people experience emotions like a roller coaster, intense highs, deep lows, and no breaks in sight. DBT teaches concrete strategies to slow that right down, so you're not just stuck in an emotional spiral without knowing why. 3 key points. 1. Mindfulness. The ability to stay present can be tough when your brain is constantly processing a million things at once. DBT helps train your focus, making overwhelming situations feel more manageable. 2. Distress tolerance. Instead of reacting to stress in ways that might make things worse, DBT helps you sit with discomfort and respond in a way that actually helps. 3. Interpersonal skills. Social cues can be tricky. DBT teaches clear, structured ways to communicate and to set boundaries, so you're not second-guessing yourself in every conversation. Let's take emotional spirals as an example. If you've ever suddenly felt awful and couldn't quite explain why, you're not alone. One of the fastest ways to interrupt that spiral is a DBT skill called STOP, S-T-O-P. Here's how it works. S for stop. Literally pause whatever you're doing. Just stop. T for take a breath. 1 deep breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth. 3. Observe. O for observe. What's actually happening? Are you hungry? Overstimulated? Did something trigger an old memory? And number 4, P for proceed mindfully. Now that you have some clarity, make a conscious choice about what to do next instead of just reacting. For example, let's say you're suddenly anxious at work for no obvious reason. Instead of spiraling, you stop, you breathe, you realize the noise level has been creeping up. Your coworker's perfume is overwhelming, and you haven't eaten in 5 hours. That's why you feel terrible. Now, instead of assuming, I'm just broken, something is wrong with me, you take an action. You put in noise-canceling earbuds, step outside for fresh air, or grab a snack. Small shifts like this can make a huge difference. That's just one example of how DBT helps neurodivergent individuals take back control. Now, let's move on to the second segment, practical DBT tools you can start using today. Now that we know why DBT works so well for neurodivergent individuals, let's talk about some practical tools you can start using today. These are simple, effective strategies that help with emotional regulation, overwhelm, and communication, things that many neurodivergent folks struggle with on a daily basis. Number one, TIP, T-I-P-P, the fastest way to calm your nervous system. Ever feel like your emotions are a runaway train and you just can't get off? That's where the TIP skill comes in. It's a set of 4 science-backed techniques that work with your body to regulate your emotions quickly. Number one, temperature. Splash your face with cold water or hold an ice pack on your neck. This activates the dive reflex, instantly calming your nervous system. Number two, intense exercise. Do jumping jacks, sprint in place, or push against a wall, anything that gets your heart rate up for 30 seconds. It burns off that excess adrenaline. Number three, paced breathing. Try inhaling for 4 counts and holding for 4 and then exhaling for 6 counts. Longer exhales tell your body, hey, we're safe. It's okay to calm down. Number 4, progressive muscle relaxation. Tense a muscle group for 5 seconds, then release. Start at your toes and work your way up. TIP, T-I-P-P, is amazing when you're having a meltdown, feeling panicked, or just need to reset. I've even taught it to my autistic son and my autistic patients. And now when they feel overwhelmed, they just grab an ice pack instead of shutting down. It's that effective. Number 2, Dear Man, how to ask for what you need without feeling awkward or guilty. If you've ever struggled to say no or felt frustrated that people don't understand your needs, Dear Man is a game changer. It's a formula for assertive communication. Basically, how to express what you need without feeling pushy or apologetic. First, describe the situation. Hey, when you play music out loud in the office. Next, express your feelings. It makes it hard for me to focus, and I start feeling really overwhelmed. Then, assert what you need. Would you be willing to use headphones instead? And then reinforce the benefits. That way, we can both work without distractions. Throughout this, mindfully stay calm. Don't get defensive or ramble, just stick to the facts and appear confident. Even if you feel awkward inside, practice standing tall and speaking clearly. Negotiate when needed. If that doesn't work, maybe we can find a compromise. This skill is gold for neurodivergent folks who struggle with confrontation or fear of being a burden. And trust me, it works. I once used Dear Man to convince my family that I really needed a quiet space at home. And guess what? It worked. No guilt, no arguments, just clear, respectful communication. Number 3, the wise mind trick, balancing logic and emotion. Do you ever feel like your brain is in a constant tug of war between logic and emotion? Neurodivergent individuals often struggle with black and white thinking, either being too logical and ignoring emotions or too emotional and feeling out of control. The wise mind trick helps you find balance. First, the emotion mind, driven by feelings, impulsive reactions, and sensory overwhelm. Second, the reasonable mind, logical, fact-based, sometimes too rigid. Third, the wise mind, the perfect balance, where you acknowledge emotions and think rationally. A quick trick to access the wise mind? Put one hand on your heart and the other on your forehead. Breathe in deeply and ask yourself, what would my wise mind say? It sounds simple, but it really helps to shift your perspective instantly. Now you have 3 powerful DBT tools that you can start using today. TIP, T-I-P-P, for emotional regulation, Dear Man for communication, and the wise mind trick for balanced thinking. These skills take practice, but once you get the hang of them, they can truly transform the way you handle stress, relationships, and daily life. Now, in this last part of the video, I want to share something important. How to make DBT a habit so that it actually sticks and becomes second nature. So you've got these three amazing DBT skills: tip, dear man, and wise mind. But let's be real, knowing them isn't enough. The challenge is actually using them when you need them. And if you're neurodivergent, forming new habits can feel like trying to teach a cat how to swim. Technically possible, but incredibly frustrating. So how do you make DBT part of your daily life without feeling overwhelmed? 1. Make it visual, because out of sight equals out of mind. If you're like most people, you have about 274 thoughts zooming around your brain at any given moment. That's why having visual reminders is key. Put a sticky note on your mirror that says wise mind, or set a phone wallpaper with the DBT skill you're working on. I once wrote tip, T-I-P-P, on my fridge because I kept forgetting to use it when I was stressed. And guess what? Seeing it reminded me to grab an ice pack instead of doom scrolling social media. Tiny tweaks like this can really make a huge difference. Number 2, pair it with something you already do. New habits stick better when you attach them to something that's already a part of your routine. For example, morning coffee equals deep breathing. Take 3 slow breaths while waiting for the coffee to brew. Another example, shower time equals wise mind check-in. Ask yourself, am I in emotion mind, reasonable mind, or wise mind today? Another example, brushing teeth equals affirmation. I can handle challenges with ease. It's like sneaking vegetables into mac and cheese. Barely noticeable, but so good for you. Number 3, start ridiculously small, almost laughably small. Perfectionism is the enemy of progress, so don't try to master all of DBT at once. Just pick one skill to focus on for a week. Maybe it's using Dear Man once, or trying tip, T-I-P-P, next time you're overwhelmed. That's it. If you aim for small, easy wins, you'll actually stick with it. I once decided I'd practice wise mind every time I had a decision to make, big or small. Then I found myself standing in the grocery store, frozen between 2 brands of almond butter, whispering, wise mind, guide me. Moral of this story? Keep it simple, or you will end up questioning your entire existence in the peanut butter aisle. Final thoughts. You've got this. DBT is like a Swiss Army knife for emotions. It takes some practice, but once you learn how to use it, it makes life so much easier. And the best part? It's not just for neurodivergent folks. These skills can help everyone, no matter who you are or what challenges you're facing. So, pick one tool from today's video and start experimenting with it. And remember, progress, not perfection. If you forget to use a skill, that's okay. Just try again next time. The more you practice, the more second nature it becomes. Before you know it, DBT will be your secret superpower. Thank you for spending this time with me. And if this video helped you, and if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear them. If you'd like to get a PDF of the material covered in this video, there's a link attached in the description. Thank you again. See you next time.